Hey guys, we're market research from Fake ID, and we're doing market research at Chick-fil-A in France. Part of our team, first all-star, is Brian from Lipsy, and field tech, culture interviewer, European marketing research specialist, Anderson Cougar enthusiast.
Then we have our French historical specialist, economic research specialist, presentation engineer, and she is aspiring food critic and caffeine diva tea, Riley Bearden.
Our favorite team person in the group, economic researcher, population and demographic specialist. She finds all things Kauai, Erica Nightoll.
Then we have Vicky Gabon. He is our rich points analysis, evaluation of culture barriers, and hair to a liquor empire.
Clement Degoldre, French culture expert, rich point analyst, Chick-fil-A enthusiast, baker extraordinaire.
Then we have Dylan. He's our executive producer, culture analysis specializing in religious differences, international marketing enthusiast, and small animal advocate.
Gloria Waters, production engineer, economic research specialist, international ultimate frisbee star.
Geographically, France is slightly smaller than the size of Texas, but has a GDP of $2.829 trillion and GDP per capita of almost $35,700. They have been experiencing one of the highest rates of economic growth in Europe, as you can see here. The population is 65 million people, with 4 million foreign residents and immigrants. The average household net adjusted disposable income per capita is $28,799 a year, which is higher than the OECD average and the Gini index of 30.1 as of 2013. France is the second largest exporter in Europe, exporting machinery, aircraft, spacecraft, vehicles, electronic equipment, and pharmaceutical products. They are also famous for being one of the world's largest exporters of farm and agriculture products. The sector is protected at the European level and is subsidized by the government. Now that we have looked at some of France's economic factors, let's look at what a French native and his friend has to say about Chick-fil-A in France.
Hi there, I'm Brian from Chick-fil-A, and we're here at the Paris Nord Mall in France, trying to see if consumers would be interested in Chick-fil-A food. What's up guys? How you doing? My name is Brian, I'm from Chick-fil-A. Do you want to try some of this yummy chicken?
Okay. Oui, oui.
How's that taste, guys?
Oui, oui. Whoa.
That's what I like to hear. So yeah, if you don't mind, I can take a couple of minutes of your time to just see if you'd be interested in possible Chick-fil-A.
Oui, oui.
Nice. So what do you think of fast food in general?
I'm confused. Fast food is only one time, 2 times a month, but only with friends. Only with friends. It's more of a convenience thing.
Yeah.
You don't go to fast foods to get food. You just eat that. No, I mean the food is good, but it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is there a kind of health culture in France, or do people just?
Yeah, we try to be careful about it.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the time of the day.
Yeah.
For example, I would go to fast food for breakfast.
Yeah. Because obviously that's the most important meal of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, breakfast is definitely the most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
And to do this with fast food? No.
Yeah.
It's just nicht sweet pizzas.
Yeah. So you wouldn't typically eat meats in the morning in France, more pastries and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So lunch, would that differ from breakfast in terms of how many times a week you would eat? Would you eat most at lunch or? Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
But only on weekends, maybe, with friends.
Just at friends at the mall or something like that.
We
Yeah.
call students.
Yeah.
We eat at cafeteria for the school days, but
Mhm.
on weekend we at cinema. We say yes. We say yes. Yummy Chick-fil-A. Oui.
So obviously in America, Chick-fil-A is big into being a cultural kind of responsible business. So would you as a consumer value this and pay a higher price to give business to a responsible place? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially if they recycle, they put on the environment, and if they take foods from France, like if the chickens were raised in France and the breads will come from France, this is very big. We know that McDonald's does this, and I go to McDonald's sometimes because they have locally grown fruits and stuff like this. So I think this is better for France, and so I choose McDonald's for this.
And is religion a big kind of aspect in France, or?
We don't really talk about religion, so it's okay if you have one. Just,
Yeah, because Chick-fil-A is quite a kind of obviously religious business. I mean, we don't work on Sundays. We don't open our stores on Sundays. So that's obviously something that we would implement in France. Drinking nights on a night out or something. Would you kind of eat fast food more then? Or yeah.
I love drunk chicken.
Yeah.
Drunk chicken. This is very good. I tell my friends on Facebook and Twitter, and we say, yes, this is very good drunk chicken. Yummy yum.
Nice. I like that attitude. Anyway, nice to meet you, boys.
Thank you. Merci.
Have a good day.
Okay, so we just watched the video of the interview in France. One of the things that they said was important was making the products in France. What are some things that we can do? Kind of discuss that a little bit.
Well, I think that getting 100% of goods from France would just be practically impossible, but I think we should aim to get a very high mark, like let's say 50% of goods, like chickens, maybe our agriculture, like breads, wheats, those kind of things. So we can really say we're sourcing a lot from France and giving a lot back to the country that we're going to.
I think from a marketing standpoint too, if you can promote, okay, our chickens come straight from these farms, and you can see the farmers that you bought it from, so you can see that you're pouring back into the local economy, because that's a really good thing to connect the consumer to the producer.
I don't think it'll be too difficult because France is already a huge exporter of agricultural products, so it'll just be a difference of keeping some of those in the country for our uses as opposed to those excesses being exported.
And adding on to that, like French people can be assured that like it's healthy, which they like prefer in business.
They definitely prefer that healthy standpoint. Okay, and customers will just come, eat really quickly, leave. Will they stay for a while? Is that important? What can we do to help that atmosphere a little bit better?
Well, when we look at fast food in France, it's still not very fast in the sense that people don't just go eat and then go right out the door. They like to enjoy their time at their meals. The average French person spends over 2 hours a day at the dinner table, at the meal table. And so it's important to realize that people are going to come in and they may get their food quickly, but they're going to sit down.
And Chick-fil-A is really big on like religious aspects. Some of the things that they do here is shut down on Sundays. They close at 10. What will that look like in France?
I think the best thing we can do in this situation is to set up some focus groups and ask people, okay, would your religious preference affect whether or not you shop it or you purchase Chick-fil-A food because it's a religious company?
Well, I think that religion is not such a big thing. It's not something they talk about in France. So I think maybe shying away from that religious image that they have here in the US, I think bringing in a new image that is more universal and doesn't alienate people would be a lot better for France.
Ow!
These are conclusions of France. Conclusion. Focus groups for religious influence on purchases.
Locally sourced produce.
Design and experience.
Yeah.